Thank you, Henry. So in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and we all know how that turned out, right? I think the Native Americans have a legitimate complaint about us making fun of them and using them as a mascot. I think, the Fighting Illini, or the Florida Seminoles, or the Warriors, or maybe even the Indians, there's some dignity to those names. It's no big deal. But the fucking Redskins? What the fuck? Why do we still have a team called the Redskins? And I guess all you have to do is look in the White House and it explains a lot of the crazy shit that is happening these days. But anyway, back to Columbus. He somehow convinced Ferdinand and Isabella back in 1492 to fund this crazy expedition. And I think I was distracted in geography and history class in third grade or whenever they told us about that. I can't remember if he was expecting to fall off the edge of the earth or prove that it was round, but we all know he landed on the eastern seaboard and declared that he was in India, and when he met some indigenous people, he named them Indians. Well, within a few days, they knew they weren't in India, they were in the New World. And it was like, hey, Columbus, you misnamed those guys. And it was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, we already made the signs. It sort of set the tone for the culture that has evolved in this country, where we basically ignore and oppress and make fun of indigenous people and any other group that can't defend themselves. And I'm not particularly proud of that, but it's sort of funny if you squint and think about it. Speaking of tribes, has everybody or anybody here tried genetic testing? That's an interesting rigged game. I got interested in it, and I tried Ancestry.com, and they send you a little test tube and you spit in it, which is kind of sketchy. And you send them $80, which also sucks. And they come back with this insightful information like that I'm 23% Eastern European, I'm 11% mulatto, I'm about 24% hillbilly, 18% Irish, and the rest is Scotch and soda. Interestingly, my brother took the same test, and it came back with roughly the same numbers, slightly lower, and 32% other. So I'm just assuming he actually had more Scotch and soda prior to spitting in the test tube. But I can't be sure. Has anybody chosen a mattress lately? I've had this problem. One of the interesting things about getting to live this long is I kind of flail around at night, and I'm prone to falling out of bed. So I thought, I'm going to get myself a big king-size mattress with more real estate. Man, you go out shopping and there's like latex free, there's hybrid, there's soft, medium, firm, sleep number, all these fucking choices. And then when you go into the store, they want you to lie down. Are you a side sleeper, a back sleeper? What kind of pillow do you use? And it's supposed to be like an all-day thing, which is exhausting to do all that much sleeping when you're not tired. I thought, fuck, I just want something that's rectangular and slightly larger than me. So, I'm getting the light, so I'm gonna try to cut this short. I went to my doctor and he prescribed an antibiotic, and as is usual, the drug insurance wouldn't cover it. They offered a cheaper substitute, and the doctor's PA, because you don't actually see the doctor, said, well, that's bullshit, it isn't gonna help. And I thought, well, all of my friends are on Viagra, and it's covered on their program, on their medical coverage. Why don't you tell them I need the antibiotics so I can get laid? Seemed like a good strategy, right? So that didn't work either. But in reading up on Viagra, I found that one of the side effects is erections lasting more than 8 hours. And I thought, man, there's a way this will fit into my stand-up routine. So I decided to get some, and I haven't had any problem falling out of bed ever since.